Good afternoon. Today I will be discussing Anne Bradstreet's Before the Birth of One of Her Children. Now I will be going through the background for this poem, then I will be reading it, then I'll be doing a line-by-line read. I chose this poem because it was some kind of obtuse in some of its wording, and I think the line-by-line read will be very useful for explaining its meaning and why I believe this poem is so great. And then I'm going to go through some of the major themes of the poem. All right, first things first. Anne Bradstreet was born in 1612 and died in 1672. However, Before the Birth of One of Her Children was not published until 1678, as it was published in her second version of The 10th Muse Lately Sprung Up in America, which included a lot of unpublished poetry of hers that she had written in between the timing of her first The 10th Muse and the second. Now, the poem is a confession of her fear of dying in childbirth, which was a common occurrence in the 17th century. And the poem is addressed to her husband and discusses kind of her will for him in the case of her death. All right, now for a quick reading of the poem. Before the birth of one of her children. All things within this fading world hath end. Adversity doth still our joys attend. No ties so strong, no friends so dear and sweet, but with death's parting blow is sure to meet. The sentence passed is most irrevocable, a common thing, yet, oh, inevitable. How soon, my dear, death may my steps attend, how soon may be thy lot to lose thy friend. We both are ignorant, yet love bids me these farewell lines to recommend to thee, that when that knot's untied that made us one, I may seem thine, who in effect am none. And if I see not half my days that's due, what nature would, God grant to yours and you. The many faults that well you know I have, let be interred in my oblivious grave. If any worth or virtue were in me, let that live freshly in thy memory. And when thou feel'st no grief, as I, no harms, yet love thy dead, who long lay in thine arms. And when thy loss shall be repaid with gains, look to my little babes, my dear remains. And if thou love thyself, or lovest me, these, O protect from stepdame's injury. And if chance to thine eyes shall bring this verse, with some sad sighs, honor my absent hearse, and kiss this paper for thy love's dear sake, who with salt tears this last farewell did take. Now, starting with this first line, all things within this fading world hath end. So it is setting up her death. It is all things in her life within the world have come to an end. So this is quickly explaining her death. Adversity doth still our joys attend. I found two different meanings with this, depending on your use of still. So adversity doth still our joys attend. So if you take still as a continuation, so adversity is still attending our joys. So it would be our joys are still facing that adversity. It's still being hampered. But I believe she uses still as in it stops. So adversity stops her joys attending. So it is ending it. No tie so strong, no friend so dear and sweet, but with death's parting blow is sure to meet. This is explaining that no ties that you hold in the real world, no friends that you have can stop death's parting blow from severing them. The sentence passed is most irrevocable. In this, you can take sentence as being the actual physical sentence, where the previous line of the poem is not something you can revoke. It is a fact of life, and you cannot change it. Or you can take sentence as a reference, an allusion to a life sentence, like a jail sentence. where a life sentence passed is irrevocable. You cannot change the life that you've already led. It has passed already, and you cannot change the past. So then, a common thing, yet inevitable. So a death is a common thing, but it is always inevitable for each and every one of us. How soon, my dear, death may my steps attend. This is speaking on how her death may happen soon. She may die soon, and she is accepting that. How soon it may be thy lot to lose thy friend. This is addressing simply her husband, saying that you may lose me, your friend in life. We both are ignorant, yet love bids me these farewell lines to recommend to thee. They are ignorant in that they do not know if she is going to die in childbirth or not. There's a higher likelihood chance than there is today. So while today we still are ignorant whether someone is going to die in childbirth, we have more knowledge that it won't. We have a higher likelihood of mortality than they did back then. That when the knots untied that made us one, I may seem thine who in effect am none. I found another double meaning here with I may seem thine who in effect am none. Thine may be two different things. So I may seem like a person when in fact I am not, as in your perception of who I was may change over time, though I am dead. Or it could mean I may seem yours, but I am no one's, as I am dead. I am not attached anymore to you, as we have separated due by death's parting blow, as mentioned before. And if I see not half my days that's due, so this is saying if she dies before her natural due date, what nature would God grant to yours and you? So this is what nature would give you in life. Hopefully God will also give it to you, as though she hopes that the baby survives if she does die in childbirth. The many faults that well you know I have, let be interred in my oblivious grave. So she understands she's a human. She has faults, and she hopes that in death those faults will be forgotten. They will be left with her in her oblivious grave. As she is dead, she's oblivious to the goings-on of the world around her, so she would not know that her faults have been forgotten. But she hopes that that is the case. If any worth or virtue were in me, let that live freshly in thy memory. Remember me as the great person I was. Remember me as the great things that I did, not the harm that I caused. And when thou feelest no grief, as I, no harms, yet love thy dead, who long lay in thine arms. When she is dead, she cannot feel harm anymore. She cannot feel any more of the pain. And when she has passed long enough and he no longer grieves for her death, she hopes that he will still remember her love and still love her in her death. And when thy loss shall be repaid with gains, look to my little babes, my dear remains. She's hoping that as their children grow and they become more and more like her, that her loss is repaid with the gains of the children that she created. So she's hoping that they can kind of replace her in his art. And if thou love thyself or lovest me, please protect from stepdame's injury. So she's saying, if you love me in life, then protect the remains of me, protect our children from any potential stepmother's harm. And if chance of thine eyes shall bring this verse, with some sad eyes, honor my absent hearse. Remember me fondly, love me as I have wished here. And kiss this paper for thy love's dear sake, who with salt tears this last farewell did take. She's saying she's crying when she's writing this. It hurts her to write this, but she hopes that it will remind her husband of the love that she shared with him in life. So on some of the major themes of this poem, it's death. That's a common theme in a lot of poetry. of this age and of every age. The pain of death, the loss of love, the pain of death, the loss of love, the power of the grave, and the hope for remembrance. It's something that I believe we can all share. We all want to be remembered for the great person we were and not of our faults. It's a very relatable poem. It's quite sad, but it is relatable in that we all want to remember for our greatness. We want our faults to be forgiven. We want those that loved us to still love us after death, even after they've stopped grieving for our death. It's very relatable, it's very powerful, and I believe her heightened diction allows for further study into it that a simpler writing style wouldn't allow for. I believe this is a great poem worthy of great study. Thank you.